Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Lexi, and welcome to the Library of Lexi. Today we're going to be doing my April wrap-up. I read 8 books in the month of April. Some of them were some series and some continuations that I haven't gotten through yet, but let's go ahead and get started. The first book I read in the month of April is going to be The City of Glass by Cassandra Clare. This is a YA fantasy book, so young adult fantasy. I rated this book 3 stars. I'm not really going to go into much detail on what this book is about because it's the third in the series, but it pretty much follows Clary and Jace in the world of shadow hunters, so they are demon hunters. And yeah, I mean, it was pretty good. This is, like I said, this was the third book in the series. I wasn't crazy about the book itself. Okay, and the next book I read, well, let me just say this. So I finished the entire Mortal Instruments series in the month of April, so the first 4 books that I'm talking about are all from the Mortal Instruments. So the next book I read was The City of Fallen Angels. And I gave that book 4 stars. And then I read The City of Lost Souls, which I gave 5 stars. And then I read The City of Heavenly Fire, which I gave 5 stars. As a whole, I actually really like the series. I think I would reread it again. Like I said, I'm not going to go much into the other books because there's 7 books in the series, and if I talked about books 3 through 7, that would be a huge spoiler, and then there would be no point in you reading them. But I would say I would recommend that you read them. I did really like them. In comparison to the Infernal Devices, I would say I believe I liked the Mortal Instruments better. It was just the story was a little bit more fun for me, and I just enjoyed certain scenes and certain parts of the books more, and the friendships. It was just a little bit different. But I did enjoy it. And I would say overall, I would give the entire series like a 3.5 to 4 stars. The first 2 books I really liked, and then like the middle was just kind of and then the end was really good. The wrap up and closing was really good, and I really enjoyed it. Okay, and then the next book that I finished in April is going to be A Quart of Mist and Fury. Now, this is part of the A Quart of Thorns and Roses series. The author is Sarah J. Maas. The genre for this book is going to be young adult fantasy romance. And I also gave this book 5 stars. So, Rysand. My heart. Can someone just give me like a real life Rysand? Because he is just everything. Oh my gosh. I don't know if I could really get through this series without Rys, and just like, I don't know, but I love it. I'm almost done with A Court of Wings and Ruin right now. I'm like 70% through that, so I'm almost done. And then I'll be reading A Court of Frost and Starlight, but I'm loving it. Feyre and Rys, and just like, it's too good. It is really too good. But anyway, moving on. The next book I read on my list, the next book I read in April is going to be Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo. Now, I gave this 5 stars. I would say I loved it almost as much as 6 of Crows. Nah, I think I love 6 of Crows more. The story was good for Crooked Kingdom, but I don't know, maybe because it was like the finale, it just wasn't I don't know, I guess maybe it just wasn't what I thought it was going to be, but I still really enjoyed it and I still really loved it. Definitely over the Grishaverse. Because Shadow and Bone and Siege and Storm and Ruin and Rising, I just, like, the first book was good. And then Siege and Storm, I struggled to get through the rest of the series. I didn't even finish it, but I'm definitely glad that I read Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom, because it was great, and I will definitely be rereading them soon. Okay, and so down to the last two books that I read in April. I read A Very Large Expanse of Sea by Tahera Mafi. This book is a contemporary romance, also young adult, and I rated it 5 stars. Now, this is a book that I feel like everyone should read. It talked in depth about racism and just being Muslim in high school in a place that doesn't accept that culture, and it was heartbreaking. It was very eye-opening, that's for sure. I really enjoyed it. I flew through the book. I had so many highlights, and just, it was definitely a very like I said, eye-opening and just a great reading experience, honestly. I definitely will be buying the physical copy of that sooner rather than later. I can't wait to read more of Tahera Mafi's work. And yeah. And down to the last book that I read in the month of April. I read The Sorcery of Thorns. It was pretty good. The beginning was not so much. It was pretty slow. Dragged quite a bit. Was not a fan of the characters until Silas came along. I loved every bit of Silas's character. He really made the book for me. I don't think I could have read it if Silas wasn't in it. If his character wasn't who he was and portrayed to be, I guess, the way that he was portrayed. Anyway, I gave it 3 stars. And it was a fantasy romance, young adult. This book is extremely hyped, and I don't really know why. But you like what you like. I didn't care for it. Like I said, I gave it 3 stars. Yeah. But that is the end of my April wrap-up. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you loved this video or have any feedback for me, please leave a comment down below. Like this video, subscribe. You already know what it is. And tell your friends. All right? Bye, guys.